Hello and welcome to the Narc Alert, the channel where we look at YouTubers and others to see if they demonstrate any traits that fall within the spectrum of narcissistic personality disorder or NPD. These videos are for fun and entertainment purposes only, strictly my opinion, and remember, please don't send any snark to our possible narcs. So key points to remember: messy fun and not a diagnosis. Hello my lovely alerts, and welcome back to the Narc Alert. Well, it's Tuesday, so I thought it might be time to do a little one of our deep dive compilations. In Amberlynn Reed's latest video, I'm not sure if you've noticed, but she's been showing us a calendar, an awful lot, with her weight, her daily weigh-ins, little emojis to track her progress. Now, this week, after some bad weigh-ins, Amberlynn has finally come to the conclusion that there is some correlation between her depression and her weight gain. She's telling us this is a brand new thought for her. She's very glad she's used the calendar because she never would have known this otherwise. I thought, let's take a look back and see, has Amberlynn ever noticed a correlation between emotions and eating before?
A lot of things are happening with my family right now, and that's pretty much the story of my life. Is I turn to food when I'm upset, when I'm depressed, when, you know, I need a therapist. Food is my therapist. And
why would you say something so controversial yet so brave?
I know it's disgusting, but I'm here to admit that. My cravings happen and my emotional eating happens, and my food addiction is inflamed with what I have to work for when it comes to like my emotional eating and my addictive eating and stuff. And I just feel like sometimes I don't have control, but I'm gonna try my hardest to have willpower and be strong. Okay, bitch, you got this week, because I do want to come on here and be like, oh my god, guess what, you guys? I was able to succeed in my goals. But I also got this book, Life is Hard, Food is Easy. It's a 5-step plan to overcome emotional eating and lose weight on any day. And it's by the same people or person, Linda Spangle. And I started reading this before, and I read it every single day that I wrote in here. And again, like last time, I forgot this book as well, so I just stopped doing it altogether. I mean, I get as personal as I can with you guys, but there's some things I feel like need to be kept quiet. I feel like just a lot of emotional eating started happening, and I started feeling like really bad about myself, and like just like nobody cared, and that really put a damper on feeling like I was, you know, being supported in my journey. And I feel like I started my journey with such support. I feel like I don't know if I can do it unless I have that. But I wanted to treat myself, and by treating myself I always turn to food, and I did it again. So this day was pretty bad, and it was the day before my weigh-in. Like, what was I thinking?
Something I've noticed mentally, I feel more energetic, but in a negative way. I feel more moody because no longer can I turn to food constantly when I'm feeling depressed or lonely. So I do feel moody. It's not always just going to be, I think, positive things to this journey. There are going to be some negatives.
But I do firmly believe that for myself, I cannot restrict myself completely. When I lost the 89 pounds, at first I did try restricting myself. Very, very healthy, very, very small portions. I didn't allow myself any chocolate. I didn't allow myself any soda, just purely water. Like, that put me over the edge. From someone with a binge eating disorder and a food addiction and emotional eater, like, I can't just do that head on like that. Like, no girl, not gonna happen, because it actually caused me to binge more. So as you guys know, I have my fair share of mental problems. This is why I'm morbidly obese. I have issues within here that cause me to binge eat, emotional eat, turn to food for comfort, etc, etc. So now I'm super morbidly obese. What is an obese? I meant obese.
To be focusing on in my life, or else I'm not gonna have a life. He said.
if she doesn't do something about it now, she won't have much longer. I clapped. Didn't I, babe? I literally did a round of applause. So this channel is about my life. It's not a weight loss channel, but it's about my life. And currently in my life, I am focusing on trying to figure out this weight loss situation and the binge eating and the food addiction and the emotional eating, and just it's a mess. It's been a lot. Right now, this is more so like an emotional eating moment because I'm frustrated because of the video I just had to film.
Your fault.
Frustrated me. And let's see, is food gonna make me feel better? It is. Realistically, it is. I already feel better. That's emotional eating for you. From the very beginning, it's not like I'm trying to hide it. I'm not trying to hide, you know, the binge eating aspect or the emotional eating aspect or the fact that food just in general makes me feel better. The hardest part about losing weight, I think it's definitely like my binge eating, my food addiction / emotional eating / comfort eating. I've always turned to food. It's very hard to get out of that habit. I'm trying to explain a little bit more what I mean by discomfort. So when I feel the urge to eat, when it's just like out of boredom or out of like emotional eating or just like the food addict in me, that is the discomfort I'm talking about. Normally, I would just cave into those cravings, I would cave into those feelings, and I would just eat because, not because I was hungry. Listen, it's not when I'm hungry. That's like the deciding factor here. Because if I'm hungry, obviously I'm gonna eat something, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna choose healthier options. Protein, fruit, veggies. Like if I'm hungry, it's not like my standard mealtime, then I will allow myself to eat one of those things. But what I mean by like discomfort is when I just want to eat. It's the food addict. I'm not actually hungry. It's more so head hunger and not like true body hunger. I'm this size because normally I would never have that discomfort. I would never allow myself to become uncomfortable because I would just cave and I'd be like, oh, I want hot Cheetos, sure. Oh, I want chocolate, sure. Oh, I want to order takeout, sure. But saying no is where I become uncomfortable, and there's a discomfort feeling when I would be sitting there reading the comments and they were just like mean over and over and over, making me feel just horrible about myself, and I would turn to food to numb that and to feel better. So yes, I do notice a coincidence between the two. I do notice a coincidence between the two. I do notice a coincidence between the two. I truly don't know if that's the answer, but I think that the cancer thing put me in a weird headspace, and you know, I got really depressed. Like you guys saw this. It was like I just kept getting more depressed, more closed off. In return, I just ate my feelings. But it's like now that I'm in a relationship where I'm supported in a way that I never have been before, and I'm like actually thoroughly happy. Like this is what happiness feels like. It's like I have no reason to turn to food like I used to.
That one didn't age quite so well.
I've been so stressed with all of the tests and not being able to turn to food for like emotional reasons. And you know, you have to realize that I, for years at a time, for months at a time, whatever it may be, whatever era I was in my life, I would turn to food all the time. And already that being taken from me because I'm so serious about weight loss surgery, like already that being taken, it just adds a whole other stress. Of these next few therapy sessions just to understand my emotions more And why do I feel the need to turn to food to comfort those emotions? And I don't know, I feel really good. And we want to talk more about like PTSD because of the things that I've been through in the past, like my childhood. I have been told by almost every single therapist I've had that I show a lot of signs of PTSD, and that's a topic that never is easy. I don't even like talking about it now. It gives me like a lot of like unwanted feelings. So they want me to journal, which I love doing. Jot down times where right before a moment where I want to turn to food for comfort, exactly what am I feeling? What are the emotions? Where do I feel them in my body? How do I feel them mentally? What is the scenario? Why am I also feeling these ways? And I think it's going to help me a lot. This was a very educational therapy session, and I absolutely loved it. So one trigger for me out of the 4 that I will be sharing is like unwanted emotions / like wanting to escape those. So the pretty obvious thing to do when I do feel like, say it's overwhelmed, anxiety, you know, sadness, depression, and I want to like turn to food to like numb that out. My therapist said, turn to hobbies instead. It like seems so obvious, and it is obvious, but like in the moment, sometimes it could be really hard. So that is why I do have so many hobbies and so many like childlike things that I like to do, Legos, whatever it may be, because like turning to those things actually helps me a lot, because I would rather do those than put myself in a situation where it's just gonna make me gain more weight. I don't want to like shower. I don't want to do anything. I kind of just want to like eat. I just want to eat. I just want to eat. I just want to turn to food. I want to numb it out. I didn't have a chance to be a child. I didn't. But it's like even at a young age, I knew that there was more to my parents besides the drug addict in them and everything that they put me through. So I was able to separate the two, but I also feel like it was super unhealthy. But now that I'm an adult, I'm able to say, yeah, they did that. They gave me trauma. They ultimately made me turn to food. And that is what I did. It's like, it's my job to fix that. It's my job to wake up every day and do better, be better, and I haven't done that. So what happened as a child? Yeah, that is their fault. The biggest reason, actually.
Listen, maybe our girl has amnesia. She seems to forget things that she's said and done, even though they're on video. It's actually quite odd. Maybe she should look into getting a new therapist. Who knows what our girl's gonna do, but until she does it, why don't you click the like button, grab a membership, or subscribe? We can't wait to see you in the Discord. We have so much fun there. Thank you for joining me and Rio. Until we meet again, please be kind, and hasta luego.